Okay, Year 9, I'm going to go over the work that we're going to do with geometry. And the first bit is a little bit of revision. Now, I'm not going to start with exercise 7A, but there are some things you need to remember from Year 8. And you need to remember a couple of things, and you need to write some stuff down, but it's all revision. So this is revision from Year 8 work. And you need to make sure in your notes you have these rules, words, and key ideas. So take a couple of minutes and make sure in your notes you have all these things. Make sure you know rays, lines, and segments, angles, how to write the name of an angle, the different types of angles that you can have, what angles at a point mean, what complementary means, what supplementary means, what a revolution means, and what vertically opposite means. Also, you need to know the different types of triangles. You would have done these last year. Isosceles, scalene, and they haven't got equilateral there, but they should have. And equilateral. Oh, here it is, equilateral. They do have equilateral there. Also, the exterior angle of a triangle and the angle sum of a triangle. So make sure you get all those notes down. Take a bit of time, make sure you are able to do all that. We are, however, going to start with parallel lines. Now, parallel lines in Euclidean geometry are two lines that have the same gradient. They run parallel to each other. Some people like to define them as two lines that will never meet, although that doesn't happen in our universe because eventually all those things will meet. Now, we're going to talk about corresponding alternate and co-interior. Again, you did this in Year 8, but we're going straight down to, did they have it there? Do they have the notes there? All right. So you need to make sure you have these. So if two lines are parallel, and they're cut by a transversal, we get a whole lot of different things happening here. So I'm going to do these all in one go, and you should be able to get them or understand them. So the first one, corresponding. Well, all the angles, if you have one angle, you can get all of them. So let's say that this is 100 degrees. Well, then this angle in here is 100 degrees because it's vertically opposite. This angle here is on a straight line, either that way or this way. And straight lines, well, angles on straight lines are supplementary. So this is 180 minus 100. So that's going to be 80 degrees. And then this last angle in here, you can decide, well, angles at a point add up to 360. So that's 360 minus 100, minus 100, minus 80. You can say that it's vertically opposite the other 80. You can say that it's on a straight line, either vertically, the one with the transversal or one of the parallel lines. Either way, that's going to be 80. So as soon as you have this one here, or any of them, you get all those other three around using straight line or vertically opposite, And hence, all of these angles will map onto, because those two parallel lines, and I better indicate that they're parallel. So how do I indicate parallel? Just with a little arrow. Those two lines are parallel, they have the same gradient, so they create all the same angles down below. So all of these map onto here, 100, 80, 180, because they all correspond to an angle above. So let's have a look at the rules. We can write those rules up, and we do. So let's get rid of the 80, and let's just use symbols for angles now. Okay, so let's start with corresponding. So you need to write your notes. Corresponding angles on parallel lines are equal. Corresponding angles on parallel lines are equal. And that just means if you get an F. Now, you can have all sorts of different Fs. So you can have an F like this, or you can have a backwards F, or you can have an upside down F, or you can have a backwards upside down F. And the angles that we're looking for are located here. So this angle and this angle are equal. And can you see the F? All right, there's the F. So they're corresponding. This angle and this angle are equal because they're corresponding. And again, look for the F. I know it's a backward F, but you can see it there. This angle and, hold on, let's go this one first. This one and this one are equal. And again, look at the F. It's the upside down F. And finally, this angle and this angle are equal. And again, upside down, back to front, F. And they're all equal. And what you can do is you can, if you see two angles that correspond, you can just write when they're on parallel lines, this angle equals this angle because corresponding angles on parallel lines are equal. The next one, alternate angles. Now, alternate angles make a Z. And the Z can be back to the right way around or back to front. So here we go. So this angle and this angle are equal. And can you see the Z? But also, so get the Z's back. Whoops. This angle and this angle are equal. And again, see the Z. So you can have a Z normal way or a Z back to front. Either way, the angles are equal. And finally, you have co-interior angles. And co-interior angles make a C. And co-interior angles, now when corresponding angles, they're equal. Alternate angles are equal. Corresponding angles are supplementary, means they add up to 180. So this angle and this angle add up to 180. And can you see the C? Oh, not at the beach. Yeah, okay. And this angle and this angle add up to 180, and it's a backward C. Now, I'm going to use the letters to help you try and remember all the different rules, but you need those 3 rules. Now, you've just got to do questions 4 and 6. And you have to write down the value of the angle of the pronumerals, but you have to give a reason. So, here I go. Here's 4A. Well, A, oops, sorry. A equals, well, I can't get A straight away because it doesn't relate to that 120. But I'm going to put a little letter in here, alpha. I'm going to find alpha first. You can do this in it. Alpha equals 120 degrees. Why? Because vertically opposite angles are equal. You're allowed to write OPP for opposite. Angles are equal. And lots of people have different opinions on how much wording you have to write and how specific you have to be. They used to be really tight on it when you get to the HSC, but sometimes they're not. Some people even allow you to write VO for vertically opposite. For the first couple, you don't have to do many of these, so let's be a little bit proper in our writing for these. Anyway, so A, and you need to write what you're doing, is 180 minus 120 because co-interior angles on, you can write parallel lines like that, are, and you can write supplementary, and 120, 80 minus 120 is 60 degrees. And then B, well, B, B equals 180 minus 60, which equals 120. But why is that? Now, you can't just say supplementary, because supplementary just means 2 things add up to 180, or 3 things, or more than 2 things. What you need to say is, well, they're on a straight line. And they're supplementary. So you need to be very particular. If you just said supplementary for B, I would take a mark from your work because it's not, strictly speaking, any reason. You're just saying, oh, they're supplementary. But why? Why are they supplementary? You need to be specific. Okay, so most of these are going to be similar. Let's see if I can find, I'm going to jump down. You can do B and C. I'm going to have a go at D. If I have a look at D, well, A equals 110. Why? If you have a look at it, you can see there's the Z, which means A is 110 because alternate angles on parallel lines are equal. What about B? Well, B and 110 are on that straight line there. So B equals 180 minus 110. And I know it might be obvious, but you should write your expression 70 degrees. Why? Well, they're on a straight line again. and they are supplementary. The more often you use the words, the better you will come to understanding those words. I'm going to do one more. I'm going to do F. So you have a go at BCE on your own. So F, and if I look at F, yeah, this is going to be pretty easy. But the parallel lines are going vertically. That shouldn't worry you. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm not going to get D. You don't have to get them in the alphabetical order that they present them to you. The first angle I'm going to get is E. So E equals 180 minus 40. Why? Well, they're on a straight line and they're supplementary. You're going to get sick of writing some of these things, but the more you do it, the better you will get and the more you'll remember. So E equals 140. Let's just double check. And you can see the straight line here. And E and 40 must add up to 180. No worries. Now, D. Well, now I know D equals 140. Why? Well, if I look here, you can see they're in a Z. And that D and that E are alternate. So, alternate angles on parallel lines are equal. Seems like a lot to write, but at least you're stating how you knew that. We're going about it in a logical process, so let's get rid of that there. And F, now you can go two ways with Fs. In fact, you can go very many different pathways. So for example, I could have gone, well, that's 40. Therefore, that is 180 minus 40 because they're co-interior. And then that is vertically opposite D, so it's going to be the same as D. Or, so I can go F is equal to D, or I can go F is equal to E because you can see they're corresponding. See the F? So I can go vertically opposite, I can go corresponding. There's so many different ways I can go to get this. So F, and I'm just going to go with F, I'm going to go corresponding equals 140 because corresponding, because I want to get used to writing the three different rules that we should know. Angles on parallel lines are equal. I could have used vertically opposite. I could have used any number of different things. So I've done A, D, and F. Now you also have to do 6. Now to do 6, you're going to need to do some construction. So I'm going to show you what to do. So I'll do the first one with you. When you look at 6, you got that angle in the middle that you've got to try and calculate. So we want to find a third line and we have to find A, B, C. So that's not what I wanted. It's in the wrong spot. I'm just going to do a freehand line. So if I draw a line through there, it's not very good. I'm not having that. That's just rubbish. Let me try again. And I'll try and... Didn't get there quite, did I? Need to go a bit higher. Now I've gone too high. Get out of there. Let's zoom right in and see if I can get it right on the spot. Oh, it's even worse. Come on. wonder if I can just move it up. Let's undo that. I'll give it one more go, and then I'm just going to freehand it because it's too messy otherwise. Oh, that'll do. So if I draw a line through there, and imagine it's going right through that B, and I draw it such that it's parallel, well then I know that this angle is the same as this angle because it's a Z, and this angle is the same as this angle because it's a Z and it's alternate, and I can get the angle ABC, which is there. And how do, okay. So I draw my third line, and I go, I'm just going to call, I need to use some pronumerals here. So I'll fix it up, draw my third line again. Oh, get out. I'll just draw a line. I'll say that's parallel. I'm going to call that alpha and beta. They're just Greek letters. Oh, God, that's a terrible beta. Alpha and beta. And I go alpha equals 45 degrees, alternate angles on parallel lines are equal. And beta equals 60. And you can write similarly for the same reason. You can say it's the same reason. And it is, because it's alternate angles on parallel lines. And angle ABC equals alpha plus beta, which equals 60 plus 45, which is 105 degrees. Now you are going to draw a third line in all of these. I'm just going to jump down to F because it's vertical, and I'm going to draw this line in here, and instead of alpha and beta this time I'm going to call that X, and I'm going to call that Y. And remember, I have to find A, B, C. So I have to find the angle between those, which is just X plus Y. So I'll see if I can fit it in here. It's going to be hard and messy, but I'll do the best I can. Oh, don't you disappear on me. Okay. So we're down here. All right. So X equals 180 minus 140. Y, their co-interior angles on parallel lines are supplementary. And that equals 40. Y equals 180 minus 135, which equals 45 degrees. Why? The same reasons. Similarly. Therefore, angle ABC equals X plus Y, which equals 40 plus 45, which equals 85 degrees. All right, so that's all you have to do, 4 and 6. It's pretty easy. It's revision of work that we did in Year 8. So make sure you make some notes from the first bit, way up here, or at least you know the geometry terminology and the geometry rules and your different triangles. Make sure that you have your rules for parallel lines, corresponding alternate and co-interior, and just do questions 4 and 6.